Panzer, as a word, simply means armour. The full title of a vehicle like that is Panzerkampfwagen. Kampf is war, Wagen is vehicle, so it's an armoured war or fighting vehicle. So that conjure with names until they're halfway through the war. The early ones are just Panzer I, Panzer II, Panzer III and so on. Panzer III, probably one of the most important. They entered service with the German army in the late 30s. They were used in small numbers during operations in France in 1940, and then became key tanks in the fighting in the Western Desert, certainly up to the summer of 1942. There's one quite remarkable thing about these German tanks, and that is their ability to improve. Now, the model you're looking at was captured at a battle called Alm-Halfa in the summer of 1942. It's quite well armoured, it's got a long 50mm gun on it. The earlier model had a short 50mm gun. In fact, when Panzer III first came into service, it had an even shorter 37mm gun. What that means is that twice during this tank's combat career, it had the gun enlarged so that it kept pace with developments that were going on elsewhere. In fact, I told you that thing was going to fire, it's just done it. Interesting as the Panzer III comes now behind it to compare them. The Tiger's obviously striking because of its size and the wheel arrangement, but in fact they're very similar. The actual shape of the hull and so on, very similar in both tanks. And although the wheels look different, the actual method of springing the wheels to make them go over bumps is using torsion bars, which are long, twisty bits of metal running across the bottom of the tank. And they both use the same system. It's just that because of the extra weight of the Tiger, they're using... Notice that both the half-tracks have a similar suspension system to the Tiger, in that they have torsion bars, that they use overlapping and interleaving road wheels. The difference is that whereas the tracks on the Tiger are enormous broad things with metal pins through them, those on the half-tracks are very sophisticated. They have roller bearings at each track link. It makes them very easy running. Sort of scheme known as Dunkelgelb. In fact, most German tanks left the factory in that colour, and the reason is said to be that the pigment required to produce that colour was not neither expensive nor difficult to obtain in Germany, so they went for that rather than anything more exotic. It was then up to the crew of or the men of each battalion, in fact, to camouflage their tanks as they saw fit.
The roots of the cromwell and the small town. Makes the difference of price. No, chunk there. Do you know what I mean? Two drainages and dovetails. One of which is curved to the right side.